Hey, it's John Benson here at 11 a.m. sharp for our day. Is it day 8? I think it's day 8, man. Day 8 of Persuade and Profit. Unbelievable, man. We're already through day 8 of this. It's going to be, it's not part 8. That's a typo. I'm going to change that as part 2. But yeah, part 8. Part 8 is not true. So we're just going to make that go away. And we're going to make that part 2. So sorry about that. Anyway, no, I'm not going to do that because screw it. Just remember that's not part 8. It's part 2. Typo on my part. All right, cool. We're going to talk about want mode today and why that's so important. And it's going to be a really cool exercise we're going to do today because we're going to scale a want, which is the lowest level of persuasion, the lowest level of any sort of wanting to anyone wanting to buy anything is a want. And you think it would be high, like, oh, I really want this. But that's really not how it works in our brain. Our brains work a little differently. We're more like, I want this. And then it gets a little stronger and I really desire this. Like I'm really starting to crave it. And then it gets, I need this. And those are the 3 levels that you're going to go through. And you can take these and again, use this in relationships, use this in all sorts of cool things. It's not just about marketing. It's not just about persuasion. So again, we're having the comment contest going on. We got our winner. We're going to announce at the end of the show today. So you got to stick around for that because this winner, we've carefully chosen, look through all the comments, and I'm not the one choosing it, by the way. I get my hands off of it, so there's no personal bias here. And we're going to announce that at the end of the broadcast. And he or she will win part of a group of 4 that will meet with me privately for 90 minutes, and that's a $2,500 value. That's how much I charge for a group coaching call. It's $5,000 an hour for a normal hour with one person. So that's because I make a lot of people a lot of money. So hopefully we can make you guys a whole lot of money and that'll be awesome. So that's going to be what's going to happen. So cool. We're going to dive in here. We're going to take questions. We're going to do all the stuff we normally do. Make sure we don't have anything going on. I want to make sure my staff is on the call here. Make sure Leanne is on the call. I think I see Liana here. So that's great. Awesome. So let's get started with the want mode and why this is so important. It's going to be, like I said, a really cool exercise. I think you guys will really, really like it. So again, this is the want mode. And I'm going to click on here just in case you guys don't know, by the way, who I am. I'm John Benson, the $1 billion copy coach. I've helped my clients earn over $1 billion over the past 7 years. So that's pretty freaking cool. And let's dive into what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to share my screen. I always have to do this to make sure I do it right because sometimes this stuff is kind of crazy. Let's go solo. Awesome. We're all seeing this good. Awesome. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to do a quick recap of what persuasion modes are. There are 4 of them. There's 4 modes of persuasion in the human brain. Fears, that's 75% of our motivation. And you'll see how we're going to be using fear through the want mode, through the desire mode, through the need mode. It's through the whole thing, right? It's really the foundation of persuasion. And I don't like to say this. I've said this 1,000 times, now 1,001. I don't like the fact that we are more persuaded by fear than we are by pleasure, but I didn't create evolution. So don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. Wants, that's the lowest level. That's what we're talking about today. The lowest level of wanting to have something is a want. It's not what you think it is. Want is the lowest level. Want will escalate to a desire if you know what you're doing. That's moving toward the most powerful and most easy thing to sell. The easiest thing to sell is a need. You must have this. It's a known must have. You could basically sell anyone anything, even if you said, look, don't buy this from me. I really suck at it. No, I'll go ahead and buy it from you. That's how powerful needs are. Okay. So obviously one of your goals as a marketer is to try to get wants all the way to needs. Does that make sense? So fear being the foundation. Okay. And I'm not saying, by the way, all your marketing is fear-based. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying 75% of motivation is fear-based. So you want that to be a part of your marketing. And you're going to start with a want and move it all the way to a need. Now, I'm going to show you that I've actually done that a little bit in this exercise today, but we're going to go into it much deeper tomorrow and the day after when we get into desire mode and need mode. Okay. So to illustrate this, we're going to speak to wants, desires, and needs and how to escalate one to the other on the topic of weight loss, specifically speaking to men or women with 10 pounds or so to lose. Okay. Now, this is a market that I know quite a bit about. I'm one of the top fitness writers out there. As far as marketers go. And we know, I'm using this because A, I know a lot about it, and B, it's a perfect way to illustrate this. Because let's face it, if a guy or a gal's got like 10 pounds, maybe, that's more like 5. I mean, that's nothing. It's a little bit of fat, right? Very, very, you can even see her upper abs. This is not an overweight person, right? At the very least. So you probably think, well, they're not interested in a diet. Well, that's actually not true. That's actually not true for a couple of reasons. People think that they are worse than they really are. Now, this is just body dysmorphia, but it's just general dysmorphia. Okay. You think that you're a worse marketer than you are. You think that you're a worse husband or wife or parent or child or whatever. We tend to think that we're worse than we are unless we're lean toward narcissism. So a lot of your audience is going to think they're worse than they are. And you want to talk to these people that are just 10 pounds or 10 pounds or more over. And again, this is just an analogy. This is just an example. You can use it in any field. In any field, you've got the guys or girls out there. They're like, hey, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. I'm checking this out because I think I'm pretty good at this. That's the want mode. And you want to talk to those folks. Okay. It's the hardest mode to trigger by far. This is going to take some samurai, black belt, Brazilian jiu-jitsu marketing stuff going on here today. But that's cool. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Are you with me? Comment if you're with me. The key is to gradually shift wants and desires, then desires into needs. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to use it, guess what? Using fear mode. Okay. And it's actually a logical fallacy, a slippery slope argument. If anyone's familiar with debate, anyone familiar with logical fallacies, a slippery slope argument is, I'll give you a great example of a slippery slope argument. If we let interracial people marry, this was in 1950 something, the next thing you'll know, dogs will be marrying cats and dogs will be marrying humans. That's a slippery argument. It's a logical fallacy, right? So I just used one that came to my mind that was absurd, okay? But that is a typical argument that you'll hear a lot from people. You'll hear this a lot. Now, there are legitimate slippery slopes, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, this is normally a logical fallacy, okay? But there are legitimate slopes. For example, it would be completely reasonable for me to say, if you smoke one cigarette a day, it may not like put you in the grave, but your odds of going from 1 to 2 to 5 dramatically increase when you're smoking one a day. Okay, that's not a slippery slope argument. That is a statistically valid argument. So that's what we're going to be using today. And remember, as you've already learned, because fear is part of the amygdala, that means logic, your prefrontal cortex, tap your forehead with me, that's the prefrontal cortex. That's 25% of your human equation. 75% is buried underneath. It's very much like we talked about yesterday with the whole iceberg analogy. Remember, we talked about icebergs, and we talked about how at the very tip of the iceberg is just showing the surface, the water, everything else is underneath. The deep stuff, it's up above water. Guess what's underneath? Running the show. It's that freaking amygdala. And by the way, it's not just fear. It's also pleasure-based, but we're going to get to that later. Now, people buy from emotion. They justify it with logic. If you don't write anything down that I ever say, you might want to write that down. Your customers will buy from an emotional decision. Even someone like me that prides himself on reason and logic, and I was a debate guy in college and everything, so I know all this stuff logically, I will still get something on emotion, but I'd show it to you right now. But today, like, I bought a scooter, and I'm not talking about like a scooter like, it's not like a moped. I'm talking about in California, they got these things where you can, if you live in California, and I think they're in a few other places, they're called birds. You can just walk up, take your phone, scan it, and boom, you're on a bird scooter. And it's like one of those old scooters you used to do, like you have with a kid where you kick with it, except it's electric. And that's like, for me, it's just like, I literally would spend 4 or 5 hours on them because I'm just so weird like that. I just like kid stuff. So the greatest way to get around Southern California because the traffic is absolutely terrible. So I'm just taking a bird everywhere, right? Well, today I saw something on Facebook. Yes, Facebook works. And it was like a big tired Batman looking bird thing. And it was awesome. And I bought it. It's like, it's only $300, but I can't wait to get it, right? And it's an electric scooter. So I'm going to own it myself. I'm going to use it to get all over Santa Barbara when I move there. So I'm very excited about this. Now, listen to the excitement in my voice. Do you think I bought that for a logical reason? No, I'm justifying it with my logic. Man, this is totally green. This is so economic. It's all electric. You can charge it on an outlet. I don't have to use gas. I can go there. It's not why I bought it. I bought it because it's fucking fun. It's like so cool. Take it off road. It's got the thick tires. It's Batman, So that's what I mean. Now that's what your customers are doing. And they didn't even have, their marketing was so good. This was it felt like almost a need for me because I'm so attracted to these things. But if I would have been the average consumer and had not ever ridden one and not ever, totally got off on motorcycles as a kid, they would have had to move me from a want to a need to a desire. Now, they didn't do that, but if they did, they'd sell 2 or 3 times more than they're selling right now. So let's build the slope, will we? We're going to talk about weight loss. And remember, it's the 10-pound crew, okay? So this is how I phrase this. I want you to be paid very careful attention to the words I'm using. You know, and I'm just going to stop right there. How many people, how many of you guys know what that is? You know, if you've ever read or studied any of my VSLs, if you have Accelerator, if you don't have Accelerator, you need the VSL Fast Track. It's only $497, and it's the same course Accelerator without the software. And I'm going to give you a link to get that later, because this is all the stuff that I can stop at 1-2 words and go into a diatribe about it. I'm not going to do that. Don't worry, but I am going to do it here, because I start a sentence off with, you know, what is that? Anyone want to type it in? Now, as you're typing, I'm going to take a sip of water. Somebody asked me if this was beer the other day because it's a green, you know, Perrier bottle. So no, it's not. You know, that's a couple things. That is a couple things. That is a command, an NLP command. You know, I'm telling someone to know something. That sounds kind of weird, but your brain works in a weird way. It's also a presuppositional phrase. You know. I'm just saying, you know, and whatever follows, you go, uh-huh. I could say, you know, pigs have flown before. You go, really? Your brain wants to, your head's nodding, even if you go, no, your head's like nodding yes, because I just told you, you know. You know, it takes a really strong-minded person to go, no, you know, but that's what we do. We know. And they don't have any idea what I'm about to say. You know, a lot of customers bought the 4-Day Diet. That's one of my books, because they just wanted to lose those last 10 pounds or so. So what did I just tell them? A lot of people bought this because they just wanted to lose around 10 pounds. But notice how I phrased it. Now, granted, this is diet specific, but you can do the same thing in your own industry. The last 10 pounds. The last 10 pounds. It reminds me of that. There was a comedian a long time ago that said, you know, smoking, they say smoking, go back to a smoking metaphor. Smoking, they cuts 10 years off your life, but it's the last 10 years. So what am I going to miss? Drooling on myself? This is kind of funny, but it's the last 10 pounds, right? It's the last 10 pounds. So the woman that I showed you before, where she's grabbing her belly fat, she is going to connect with this. It's the last 10 pounds. I don't say they just wanted to lose 10 pounds, because that's nowhere near as powerful. So look at the small things I'm doing here. You know, many were never even overweight. So now they're like going, oh, that's me. I'm not overweight. Just concerned over what we now know about 10 extra pounds of fat. Now, what is that? Concerned. Is that a fear mode? Is that something you want, need, or desire? No, that's a fear. You're concerned over what we now know. These few sentences are loaded with NLP. What we now know. It's like, oh, now we figured out something really bad about 10 pounds of fat. That's all. And everything I'm saying here is true. Has the benefit of being true. Okay. The journal Metabolism published a study that struck fear in the hearts of millions of men and women with the dreaded last 10 pounds. Oh, are you seeing what I'm doing here? I mean, I am escalating the shit out of this fear, right? It's building fear. It struck fear. I literally used the word fear. I wrote this morning, and I wanted to do it in a way that just showed you completely plainly how I'm using wants, needs, fears, and desires. So hence the word fear. But you could start panic. That would be even stronger. Okay, in the hearts of men and women with the dreaded last 10 pounds to lose. It's dreaded. It's not just 10 pounds to lose. It's dreaded. It's just drenching with good copy, guys. The study revealed that even 10 pounds of extra fat led to a 35% increase in early onset diabetes. Now, I know as a marketer to the weight loss market that diabetes and heart disease, these are concerns, but they don't motivate people to actually buy most of the time. Because again, we tend to react more than proact, right? So even though we're fear-based, we tend to react. So I have to build a reaction, not a proaction. I don't want to say, so in order to help prevent diabetes, that will never work. No, reaction is going to, you have to say something like, no, you're going to get this. You're going to get this. In fact, you may already have it now, which is true, by the way. The vast majority of people have early onset diabetes. They don't know it. So I didn't say that in this copy, but I could have said it. So onwards. Even worse. So it's going to get even worse. So that's just the slippery slope. You know, it's going, folks with 10 or so pounds have triggered key fat storing hormones. These hormones slow the metabolism and force your body to store fat faster as every month passes. It's a ticking time bomb. And I've actually said that in real copy. It is a ticking time bomb. So soon, those 10 pounds turn into 15, 25, 45, and more. It's terrifying to think that this is how it all begins. Notice that it's becoming dark now. I'm doing this on purpose, of course, but I would write this copy and I'd not think twice about it. It's terrifying to think this is how it all begins. I really love that phrase. This is because you've heard that and you know what I'm talking about. This is how it all begins. It all starts here. This is the literal definition of a slippery slope, by the way. Those innocent 10 pounds are enough to tell your body to store more fat, and before you know it, fat-related disease strikes. Since you desire, I'm literally underlining the words at this point, you desire a lifestyle that's fit, trim, and free from these diseases. Notice that there's no such thing as a fit lifestyle, really. I mean, there kind of is. It doesn't matter. Those are the words. Those are the, I hate to use the word dog whistle because it's so misused today, but those are the dog whistles, the positive dog whistles. Fit, trim, free. That's what people want. That's the lifestyle that they want. And free from these diseases, might I add, you need to take action while your condition is still manageable. No, it's like it's getting worse and worse. Otherwise, it may be too hard or even too late to act. Now, I went a long way today to show you how I could take the last 10 pounds of fat, just 10 extra pounds. Like it literally, if you told somebody like, oh, I'm only about 10 pounds overweight, that's how you would say it. You know, I'm 10 pounds overweight. I'm not going to like win a fitness contest, but I'm looking pretty good. You know, if you read this, you might be thinking, holy crap, man, maybe I should take that more seriously. And that's how I move someone from a want, like, I want to kind of get in better shape. Yeah, that you can hear this in the mind, right? Yeah. To like, oh, yeah, okay, that's bigger than I thought. And notice that I did this, by the way, without leveraging any guilt. Like no one's going to feel guilt-ridden from this. Like you didn't know that this is happening, but yeah, this journal showed that, 35 increase in onset of obesity. That's scary. But you didn't know that. And also, you triggered all those key fat-burning hormones. So there's no blame here. I'm just talking indirectly. And since you desire something a little different, you need to take action while it's still manageable. Did that resonate? Can you see how you could use this type of persuasion in your own marketing? Comment and let me know. Now, if you see this and go, okay, this is awesome and I can use it, but I have an offer right now that I just need help with, I'm going to personally help you exponentially increase your offer. I call it Xing your offer. Offer X is my confidential coaching program. Definitely not for the masses. This is a very expensive, very one-on-one 90-day coaching with me personally. So see if you qualify at johnbenson.com/offer X. You can read more about what I do and how I've helped literally hundreds of marketers exponentially increase their marketing efforts, and it's well worth the money. They spend the thousands with me, and they make a lot more than that. So if you are in that area and you can qualify for that, I only take about 10 a quarter. So check it out, Offer X. Go to johnbenson.com/offer X. And tomorrow we are going to dive into the next persuasion mode, and that is desires. Desires are a lot of fun for me. Desires are a lot of fun for me because I also write in the relationship market, and I love to talk about desires in that context. So I'm going to leverage a little bit of that conversation tomorrow, but you're going to have to leverage the power of desire itself to escalate your prospect all the way to a dire need. A dire need. That's what you want. Awesome. So I'm going to come back on camera now. That was the Prezi for today. The Prezi, as the kids say, the Prezi. I'm going to click a few buttons here. I'm going to edit something real quick here. Okay, guys, hold on just 1 second here. Give me 2 seconds. I keep typing the wrong things in. So add that here and pop that in for you to see. Awesome. All right, that's where I want you to go. So we're going to go back to me solo. And hey, I'm back. I'm back. Awesome. So, okay, we got a lot more people on than we started. So I'm going to see, this is my beer. This is, I don't get sponsorship or anything, but I used to hate mineral water. I mean, I used to think it was just the most disgusting thing ever. And now I like drink it by the gallon. So Go figure that out. I think it keeps me looking young and fresh. Okay, I'm gonna take some questions. Wait, that doesn't have to laugh them and make them feel worse. That's exactly correct. Right. I'm talking statistically, but I'm talking with fear. And at the end of the VSL, oh my God, if you've ever seen any of my weight loss VSLs, the reason they work so well is because at the end of it, I'll walk them down a path to, it goes from I'd like to lose 10 pounds to you're a terrible parent unless you do this, And granted, I'm not saying they're a terrible parent because that would be terrible. I'm merely walking them down a logical train of thought that is very easy to understand, that someone could say, hey, wait, am I being the best mom or dad I can be? An example for my kids if I keep this up. It's a valid point. I'm a marketer. I'm going to talk about valid points. So there we go. So I got a birthday present for my besties yesterday. This is so cool. You can't see it right now, but I'm a musician, as they know, and they know I'm a bass player, so I don't play with a pick. But they wanted to get something that included. This is talking about great marketing. They wanted something that had the things they know I love the most. Love, which I'm a love fanatic. I'm writing a book on love. Love, Shakespeare fanatic, and music, and actually food too. so they gave me a quote from Shakespeare: "If food be the music of life, play on." William Shakespeare. Thank you guys. All right, so I'm going to share cool personal stuff with this stuff too. It doesn't have to be all business, does it? Yes. Do I suggest using this? Yes, absolutely. It's not as effective. Unless you're writing a longer email, obviously, but you could use like one thing. Like this is a great shocking study on 10 pounds, just 10 pounds of fat, no big deal, right, wrong study, those kind of subject lines. Did you realize just 10 extra pounds of fat will do this? Read the full story here. That's a great clicker. Yeah, for sure. Hey, wait. I clicked on you before. Sorry, buddy. It's a great gym for me. Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks. Glad you like that. Thanks a lot for saying everything I can use is useful and extremely. I can't speak today. Useful and usable. That's hard to say though. In all seriousness, Adrian, I can absolutely use this. Unless you're a different Adrian, there's an Adrian that follows me that's in the fitness world. I don't know if that's you or not. If that is you, you could definitely use that. So let me see here. Okay, Francis here, getting into all the questions. The Market Workshop series has persuaded me to get on stick. Okay, awesome. That's cool. That's not my intent. Okay, and my intent is to help your marketing, but that's awesome. I have used, and as anyone that's accelerator customer or a VSL Fast Track, which by the way, I do want to show that up there. By the way, this is the Offer X. By the way, if anyone wants to go to get me coaching you personally. It's not cheap, so I'll just warn you ahead of time, but it is so well worth it. If you're anywhere near that offer ready and you want to exponentially make that offer better, this is the part to go to. But if anyone wants, just Leanne, if you're on, or Leanne, could you put the link to Fast Track in here too, so people can see that? Because a lot of stuff I'm covering here is covered in mucho detail in Fast Track, but also with here's what you put on every single slide of a VSL to make it work for you. So that's cool. And in Fast Track, the reason I brought this up, and it's because it's the same videos for Accelerator. I use weight loss. I use I think I use Every Other Day Diet as the book. That was the second book I wrote, and it was just natural for me to do that. And I had 1,000 people buy the book from it. Kind of crazy. It wasn't my intention, but it was kind of nefarious looking back at it if I would have planned it. So. Yeah, you imply that you need you lose even more than you do. Yeah, that is subtly and it is very much like a pattern or implying that they're smart. Yeah, so that I'm going back to and that I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. Wade, that's a great comment. That yes, that is implying that they're smart. I've never used that, but thank you. I will use that tip now. I mean, see, I learned something here. We got B-Dub, well, with the last name of Copy, which I'm assuming isn't your last name. Presupposition. You're going, yeah, you know this stuff, dude. You know this stuff. I know you. You know this stuff. Alexandra's got it. Mm-hmm. And look, man, you guys are smart, dude. Unreal. This is awesome. Okay. Adrian, you got to live in Southern California. I don't know where you live, but yeah, birds are great, aren't they? I just okay. Don't get me started. Well, if you've got to see, I'll put just look on Facebook. It's like it's a scooter like a bird, only it's got tires like this thick. And so I'm like, I had to have it. And you can take it off road. Yeah. What is it called? I don't even know what the name of it is, but that's how much I needed it. I didn't even know what the name of it. Francis asked if there's a preferred sequence of moving from one mode to another. Starting from the very, very, very beginning, which is one, right? So I just showed you how to move that from one to another. And we're going to assume that 10% of your audience is in the one mode, maybe 15. But if you can move those to the need mode or even the desire mode, boy, you've just radically increased your bottom line, because that could be a lot of people. Now, some people have made the argument to me that it's probably more like 50% are in the one mode. The tire kickers. That very well may be true. I don't have the data on that. So if anyone does, please let me know, because let me know. I could not even begin to pronounce that first name, but hey, nice to see you here. Yeah, Doug, I don't want to say it wrong. Turska crew. Man, that my tongue will not go in that direction, brother. But thank you so much for joining us. I will get better at these names. Okay. So awesome. So I'm looking back through here. Terry said, as a coach, people come to me who are in pain, so it can be challenging, but consult them ethically. Yes, absolutely. So hopefully that I do this in marketing too, because a lot of times I'm wanting you guys to obviously be a customer of mine, get Email Copy Pro, emailcopypro.com. Don't forget that. Because Jesus, man, for $1,000, never write your emails again, or at least never write 90% of them. It's like, why wouldn't anyone do this? And have guys like me and 30 other marketers that really know their stuff with email give you all the templates. It's really killer. I want that for you, because naturally, but I don't want you to feel like guilt tripped into it. I do want you to realize that there's an immediate need. It's not just a want. This is an immediate need, because most people's emails suck. I mean, they just do. They're just ineffective. I mean, I'll give you a great example. We had double the viewers yesterday because today we just didn't send out an effective email. Well, we didn't send out an email at all, but that's kind of not fair. But we had double the users yesterday simply because we sent out a very effective email. One of my copy guys is going to be in Copy Pro. I'm going to get him in copy. He wrote it for me. Really nice. Okay, so a couple things. According to research, desire is produced by craving pathway in the brain fueled by dopamine. True, and that is triggering into any sort of. There's a lot of different neural mechanisms that create that trigger. Dopamine is, you get that hit, the Facebook hit when you see a thumbs up or you see a like or whatever. It's a quick dopamine hit. So yes, we are slowly moving people into slight more dopamine hit, but the dopamine hits really in copy come more into, here's what your life is going to look like. Bam, 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 bam. This is more triggering the amygdala, the fear center of the brain. Like, I'm afraid. And you have to trigger it carefully to where I'm afraid to run away. You don't want that. I'm afraid, protect me is what you, so there's two modes of fear. Well, there's two responses rather to fear. There's run away, and then there's protect me. You want the protect me. You don't want the run away. So when people get too fearful, and that's fear mongering. Fear mongering can turn people off, can make people run away. But when you say it the way I said it, you can say, I have an answer for you. Now, I didn't write a whole piece of copy there, but I would have said, by the way, I have an answer for this, and I'm going to give it to you, and it's going to solve all these problems. So you're going to want to run towards someone like that. So that's really cool. Okay, so cool. We have, I don't know, one second, one other question here, then we're going to announce the winner here. John, how about making them, I think you mean laugh in a VSL, taking fear. There's an adage in copy that's basically avoid humor like the plague, because humor, what's the old saying? Death is easy, comedy is hard. My sense of humor may not be your sense of humor, so you want to tend to avoid it as much as possible. That's my leaning toward it. I've seen it used once or twice effectively, to where if you're telling a story about yourself that's funny, you can kind of dive into that. Just wouldn't say something that was overtly humorous, trying not to, because again, people's stuff is so crazy. How much of the copy needs to be completed? I've got people that literally start with no copy at all, and now they just wanted me to brainstorm the hooks and persuasion and headline. The way OfferX works, I'll just run it down really quickly. It's 90 days, and our first 30 days is all about the hook and the positioning. So it actually helps me not to have too much of the copy, because the people have gone down the wrong rabbit hole on that stuff, and that can be really there's a lot of rewriting that goes on. I don't do any writing during this time. I just look at your writing, but we just did our hook and headline call. I'm working again with my friends Jeff and Isabel on this, and we came up with so many good ideas on our first call. It was like the whole BSL just took radically different direction than I think either one of them thought it was going to. And everybody's going, wow, that's really cool. You don't get that dynamic unless you work together. And that's why OfferX is so powerful, because I get to work with smart people, because only smart people can afford it. That's not trying to pat you on the back. It's just the truth. I mean, it's just the way it is. But they come in with ideas, and I'm like, wait, time out, go back 2 steps. And all of a sudden I can see things that they can't see. And that's the genius of having a coach. I have coaches. So because I can't see things, I call Jason, my business partner, all the time, like, dude, I can't see my way through this. He came up with the whole idea behind OfferX. He came up with the whole story because I couldn't see it. So I couldn't see my own offer. You know, it's like, because that's just the way we are. We can't see a lot of our own stuff. So I like to write with some money. I like to run people. I have partners in my fitness business that they're copywriters. So yeah, I mean, it's you can be really good. I'm so much better at other people's stuff than I am mine. So that's just the way it is. So that is how that's working. Okay. They're saying they're getting a link in here. In case you guys just want to remember it, it's johnbenson.com/fast track. It's not hard to, I could actually write it in. /fast track. That's it. I got in there faster than but yeah, but you need the link inside the chat for sure. So that's it. So yeah, wait. If you want to go check out that page and you feel like you're qualified, just fill out that form, and then one of my staff will get in touch with you and do a little quick interview, and we'll make sure. So I want to make sure that we get to. This is so weird. I'm ending it almost every day, almost exactly 11:30. I swear that's not the plan. I like wake up and I go, what am I gonna? I know what I'm going to talk about, but I create the copy because I want to create stuff that's fresh. None of the stuff I'm sharing with you is stuff that I've covered topics like this before, but no one's ever seen this before. So I wanted to give you, my team approached me doing this. They said, I want you to do Facebook Live. I mean, after all, you've got literally thousands of hours of teaching tutorials. I go, yeah, but I'll take ideas, because certain ideas I can't recreate, but I want to do something fresh for you guys. So I hope that is coming across as way cool and that you guys are hopefully if you're appreciative of it, let me know, because I want to keep going. I want to keep doing 30 days. And I'm also kind of fighting a cold, so hopefully I'm not going to get a cold. Just not a cold, right? Time out. Stay wealthy, stay healthy. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, it must be subconscious finishing at 11:30, maybe so. But we do want to announce the winner, and I'm not sure who it is. So Liana, if you're there, who is our first 30 days winner? First winner. That's the first week. So there's 3 more winners. If you didn't win this week, that does not mean anything. That just means that my staff went through, they judged the best comments, they looked at the more viral comments, and boom, we're going to pick her and him or it. Could be an it. Could be a dog. I'm not sure. But yeah. Okay, cool. And as soon as they get to me, okay, thank you guys. I really appreciate the kind words. Thanks. Appreciate it. Awesome. And as soon as they do, as soon as I've been told, I don't know if they're going to Skype me or if they're going to, oh, okay. The winner is, you guys can probably see this, so I'm going to announce it anyway. Hide this, and look at that. Adrian, as in Rocky, right? Adrian Umecker, if I got that right. Adrian Umecker is our winner. So congratulations, Adrian. That is fantastic. And you get to join us on a call. That's fantastic. So I didn't pick the winner, and I won't pick any of the other 3 winners either, because I'm taking any, like I might, because I know some of your names and I don't want to be biased, right? So I'm having a staff look at that and how they're looking at it strictly from how many things got shared, how many times were coming out, what the value of the comments were, etc. So a lot of people say, congratulations, Adrian. If you're still on the line with us, that's awesome. Hopefully you are, because say yay. Okay, yeah, she won. Yay, thank you. All right, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Congratulations. Look at all these people saying congratulations, Adrian. So we had so many great comments, and I'm almost positive that a couple that I saw that I think this guy is going to win, or this girl is going to win, and I'm pretty sure he or she is going to win next week or the week after if this continues on. So yeah, by all means. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm loving doing this. Tomorrow I'll be coming live, not from Vancouver, British Columbia, but from Phoenix, Arizona. I will be with Joe Polish in the Genius Network Mastermind. Again, if anyone is last minute tickets, man, but if you want to go, ping us, because we got the best deal there is on those tickets, but only because we give away 2 hours of our coaching for free. But it's going to be awesome. It's in Mesa, actually, Arizona. And I'll be there from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I will be basically jumping out of the group and going into a hotel room and doing this from a laptop. So it might not be quite as pretty, but it will be there. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow we will talk about going into all about desire mode, man. It's all about desire. See you.